Hey guys, so this is another video in which I am isolating a section of my really long follow-up I released a couple years ago, which addressed many different comments on many different videos. In today's entry, the comment that I wanted to separate so that I could put it in the playlist with the corresponding videos, I received on my original follow-up to the Nonproductive System video essay. In that original follow-up, I was elaborating on why it is I believe that Juliet hitting the Jughead bomb not only didn't kill her, but actually transported her and all the people that it did into the future. And more specifically, why they arrived at what seems to be pretty much the exact moment that Jacob died. And in the process of explaining that, I made it clear that I believe the time-traveling candidates are who Jacob was referring to when he tells his brother, as he's dying, that they're coming. So with all of that context established, I will now switch over to where I started addressing a comment from Homo sapiens 97.
So do you think Jacob was referring to the candidates when he told the men in black they're coming? I always thought Jacob was referring to Widmore, but that obviously can't be the case if Jacob didn't send Widmore to the island, as you've established in previous videos. So yeah, they do refer to what I've talked about most explicitly in Getting Lost number 17, which was all about establishing why I do not believe Widmore was sent by Jacob. But that is certainly way too much for me to try and recap here, so let's just set that aside for now. Even in the scenario where Widmore was sent by Jacob, I do not believe that Jacob is referring to him and his people. I do think Jacob is referring to the candidates. In my opinion, the entirety of the season 5 finale, and ultimately this scene with Jacob's last words, does a great job of setting the stage for the final season. Because while we still at this point don't know exactly what the Man in Black is after, we do know from this finale that Jacob is the opposing force to him. And throughout the finale, we see flashbacks that show us Jacob has chosen many of our main characters for some mysterious purpose, which we can conclude likely has something to do with stopping this person or entity from accomplishing whatever it is he's working towards. So I think the 70s storyline and the prospect of a reset timeline that it gives us, I think that is a great bit of misdirection that also does a fantastic job setting up the Flash sideways and misdirecting us in that regard. But at the same time, I've always felt that the writers did a great job of actually kind of telling us what Juliet hitting that bomb actually was going to do. That being setting off a final time flash which brings the candidates to the moment Jacob dies. And that this is what the final season was largely going to be about. This was going to be the main conflict of the final season. Our main characters versus the monster. I've talked previously about, and I actually think that's what Homo sapiens 97 was responding to, me saying that in the Man in Black's eyes at the end of season 5, he has no reason to think that the time-traveling candidates weren't vaporized in 77. And therefore, with Jacob's death, the only person he might have to worry about is Sun, because she may or may not be the Quan that is listed next to number 42 and is still a candidate. So according to the Man in Black's plan at this point, once Jacob's dead, he just has to go out and, as the leader of the others, have them kill Sun, at which point there will be no more candidates, and he can then access the source and deactivate it if he has somebody who's capable of going down there and doing that. And that is how he will become free from his confinement to the perimeter of the island. But as Jacob is dying, he reveals to his brother that actually they're coming. The candidates are coming. Basically, as I've also explained before, I feel that Jacob was keeping their arrival at bay until the moment of his death. At which point, this creates for the Man in Black a few more obstacles before he can escape. He goes from thinking that he's almost home free to realizing he still has a bit of work to do. By which I mean he still has a handful of candidates to get killed. And Jacob revealing these last-minute roadblocks in his final moments is what I think frustrates the Man in Black in that moment.
They're coming.
Oh, you're still here. Hopefully that means you enjoyed this video. If so, please consider sticking around and being a constant for this channel by clicking right up here to subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell icon if you would like to be notified when more videos like this one arrive. In the meantime, feel free to check out previous content from this channel by clicking here or here. Oh no. Please subscribe.